because Jack Sparrow's a Moosha gamer. He got a rogue ally from ASUS.
How's he finding it?
No, he just opened it up. It's like, yo, guys, Hierdie is so fucking cool.
He's the first one to drop the P-bomb.
Oor die vorige episode het ek so selfbewus gevoel
Hoekom?
oor my lyfie. Ek het net soos
Nee, JP.
gesit en daar was net rolle. Daar was net
Is
rolle
nie,
oor ons.
dis glad
I didn't
nie.
notice that, and I watched that episode.
Hey, did
Hy
you
het
actually
actually
watch this
gekyk.
episode?
Yeah, I did.
Kyk.
How was it? It was a very it did well, surprisingly. The two
Yeah, how much,
the female
how much is it
episode.
at now? It's like 140 something last
Yeah.
Oh,
night.
you've been checking,
Yeah, I
huh?
know.
Yeah. No,
I
it
follow your career quite closely.
the
Consider
new
me your
podcast
groupie.
career. Fuck yeah. So we're gonna become streamers as well. That's one.
So-
Lisa,
Not
you
me, bra. Julle
No, but
twee.
you seem to have vested interests with regards to me and that part of my life.
Not really.
That's what I heard in the podcast last week.
Ja,
But
jy het geskinner.
JP was the only man who supported me there.
Yeah, you talk shit about him playing games.
Nee, maar nie streaming nie.
No, not streaming, but video
But
games in
you
general.
you do know that streaming implies that there's going to be a certain level of gaming.
That's
as well.
100% fine. At least it's gaming with a purpose.
Which is what? Like playing
Money.
games in front of one guy that's masturbating, watching Luka.
Yeah.
I hope it's a girl masturbating, not a guy.
No, that's
Actually,
That's,
no, I
that's
don't-
homophobic.
I don't-
That's
Why are you
homophobic. It can be a guy masturbating to Luka. That's
JP,
cool.
dis omdat ek genoeg van dit kry. Elke keer as Luka in Kaapstad is en ons gaan uit na 'n plek toe, dan het hy ou op hom.
Oh,
Genuinely elke liewe keer.
it's probably whenever I shave a mustache. I think
'n pond stash.
yeah, they just get like I don't know. It's like the bat signal.
the bad signal. Speaking of facial hair and hair in general, so why did you decide to cut off all your hair? Why did this happen?
Convenience.
Really? Oh, fuck, that's true.
Always
Genuinely.
convenience. I just get irritated with my hair.
Fair
It
enough.
happened like I never used to get hung up by my hair or anything like that.
Mm.
But then when I grew out my hair long, it really started fucking irritating me. Like I just couldn't handle it anymore because I'd lie on it, or the fact that every day when you wake up or whatever, you got to do something to.
I must say, I discovered a fucking cap last year.
Ja,
Since
yes.
last year, I've been wearing so many caps. It's because I'm in Cape Town now, so obviously it comes with the territory. When you're in Cape Town, you have to wear a black cap every
Cape
now
Town.
and then. So I got a black cap, and I'm so happy. It's so nice to just wake up, kind of put it on, and not worry about your fucking hair.
Ja.
But in general, I'm at this stage where my hair is such a fucking schlep. I'm
See,
so
but I'm at
over
the.
it.
I was at the same point. The other thing is, I got a fat head, like really fat head.
A big boy head.
So to put any headwear on, like
got
a
a
cap
fat head.
or a beanie or whatever, I only have a small choice of items that actually
Yeah.
fit. Especially when I have a lot of hair to put underneath the cap or whatever. After the first time I shaved it, I actually just, I think more than anything, realized nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing that stops a person from shaving their hair most of the time is, what are other people going to think of me having shaved my hair? Or how am I going to look? Do I have a fucked up shaped hair?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Luckily, I did it in COVID, so there's no, like, I don't know, you didn't...
Yeah.
Nobody was going to see it, so it was like, okay, whatever, just do it. And then you cover most of the bases. You're like, okay, cool. I don't have, like, Zuma Cop. It's going to be fine.
Dude, I'm so scared of ever shaving my head. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that
Nee,
in the
sal
long
kan.
run. Why?
Weet
How?
jy- Nee, weet jy wat ek agtergekom, JP? Daar moet so 'n nice balance wees tussen die facial hair en die kop hair.
Yeah, but
As jy baie min hare op jou kop het, dan go off. on the
no, I
facial
don't.
hair.
I don't think that. I think you can be a clean little Jeff Bezos fucking baby.
Yeah.
Be clean. Jeff Bezos looks
It's
good
just
for a
rarig, JP.
Hallo en welkom by Mense met Opinies. Soos julle kan hoor, ons praat nou Engels, the Lord's tongue.
I think that's Latin, my friend.
Oh, wait.
But okay.
So not at all the Lord's tongue, but we are speaking English today because we have
Well, it depends
Luka.
what Lord as well.
Huh?
Okay, no,
It's
let's not go
problematic.
there.
But anyway.
Don't
We have Luka on the podcast. Ek sê Luka soos 'n fucking Engelse man.
Luka.
Luka. Oh, you're gonna do your
Luka.
mother's accent, by the way. We in the previous
Now
episode.
somewhere within, I just sprinkle it in. Or...
Yeah, you can just sprinkle it in later. But yeah, welcome Luka. So ons gaan bietjie Engels praat hierdie episode in Afrikaans. Ons gaan
Ja.
bietjie mengels. Maar ja, is
Ek kan
lekker.
Afrikaans praat.
I can try my best.
So wat het ons nou gesê gaan ons doen? What did we say?
Jy wou, JP, hoekom lyk jy so depressed vandag?
Ek sien depressed. Well, actually, yeah.
Jy's bietjie down.
I'm just overworked, y'all. So
Ja.
yeah, that's actually a good way to start with this episode. So last week was a shit show. We didn't release an episode because taxi strikes. But like for the people that don't know, the taxi strikes were really a fuck up here in Cape Town in the sense of for me that works in a restaurant. You'll notice most people that work in a restaurant need taxis to travel. And if they are not there, then other people have to cover. So that's what I've been doing, double shifts the last week to...
But as a waiter.
No, fuck no. I'll never go back to doing waitering cock. No.
Shut up.
I kind of covered the other things where we can. So management and operators and people in general were working in the kitchen, which was fun. I deboned a cuck ton of chicken, which is a hard thing to do. Can I just say that?
It's a skill to learn.
Yes,
Definitely.
that is a good skill to learn in general. I cleaned a lot of dishes. That was fun. I was in the bar a lot. Yeah, it was just all around a doing a bit of everything. Open, close for a while.
And how long is a double shift?
So we open at 12 and close. All the kitchen closes around 10. So you kind of pitch up at 9 to prep everything because there's no one else to prep it, and then kind of leave at 12. But we also close a bit earlier during the whole fiasco because a lot of people were kind of they understand what's going on, and not everyone does. So I'm not going to say the brand or whatever, but I work in a fancier brand or whatever restaurant. And so some people are very entitled. And when you say that, like, yeah, we're usually like 30 people staff working here. We're only like 10 now. So obviously things are a bit rough. And then they're like, no, that's an excuse. Why can't you what, and why can't you do this other? It's like,
That's
man,
so bad.
the people can't travel. There's like no fucking taxi. Yeah. And then some people are like, yeah, no, it's a fuck up. Like, because a lot of restaurants didn't even open in the last week. Most restaurants didn't open. And the ones that did were struggling and had to make plans. So what we did eventually from, I think, Tuesday, it was a fuck up for a few days. And then Tuesday, we got a few of the staff to come in. We did our own transport thing, got a few of the staff, and they lived in the 4/5-star hotel next to the building.
I heard
Nice.
a lot
to
of
the
stories
restaurant.
of people doing that. Like
That's so nice.
Yeah.
businessmen deciding to basically just get all of their staff into the nearest like city lodge or whatever.
Yeah.
And like just get them right next door so they can get
They can
everybody
just,
into
yeah.
work still.
And that was his for the people because the hotel, so the hotel were renting the space from the hotel. So you obviously have good relations with them, and we got like a deal where we got like 500 rand a room per night, which, it's not nothing, but
It's
it's
a
a
lot
4-star hotel, which is usually like 2,000, 3,000 rand
Yeah.
a room. So
Jeez.
This was a good deal. It was also a fun experience for the waiters and staff.
Yeah, I would love that. It's like a little school camp.
The fucking group. There's a waiters group that I'm on, and it's so funny to see everyone like posting photos, and they're like fucking jack in like the robes.
The
and like,
Japaner.
yes, I am from Chicago, as the one guy Joseph says. He's always like, yeah, I'm from Chicago, man. I'm from Chicago.
Nice.
It's like, yes, you go. So yeah, that's been sweet.
But we missed that entirely.
Yeah, we were
I mean,
lucky.
you left before, like,
No.
and like right in the midst of it, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you just felt it on the airport, but then I didn't have anybody to take me to the airport, so I was like, okay, I got to use an Uber in the
Van
midst of all
Stellenbosch
of this from Stellenbosch.
Fuck.
No, I scored a pretty sick dude. We just sorted out the route as we were going to try and avoid it as best we could. And we literally only got a little bit of traffic on the way in when we joined with the N2 at the like approach road for the airport.
When was this?
Last week.
Monday, like in the middle of the day, basically.
This week, Monday. Okay, that was still okay because so the taxi strikes, the big shit that happened Thursday, where they actually started like attacking people and burning cock, and that's when people were fucked. Because the highway was rough. It takes me 20 minutes to get from my place to my work, and that day it took me 2.5 hours.
Gee whiz.
2.5 hours, and while doing that, everyone's obviously late. While doing that, people had to walk the highway to get home to like Khayelitsha and stuff. And apparently, and when I drove back, there were still people walking to Khayelitsha.
Gee whiz.
At night, yeah, 12. No, it was a fucked up situation.
Shame.
So that's why people stayed home. And the other thing is, it was fucking dangerous because there was a lot of videos making their rounds. I'm not sure if you saw this, but there was like this one guy, Uber, that got attacked, and his whole face was split open, but he was still alive. It's very graphic shit, but like there were a few videos of like stuff happening here in the Western Cape.
Well, I'm glad I didn't see any of that, because that's...
Ja, en dit het definitief dan geescalate, want ek het laasweek Vrydag ge-Uber lughawe toe. En dit was, ek dink die dag nadat dit begin het. Ja, so laasweek Vrydag. En toe sê die ou nog vir my, dis fine, hulle is nervous, maar ten minste laat die taxi drivers jou uit die kar klim voordat hulle jou kar aan die brand slaan.
That
Fucked up is.
not everyone
what a
does.
nice-
That's
Yeah,
a
but
scary
that's what I'm
thing,
saying.
yeah.
Please climb
That
out of
het-
your vehicle before I burn it.
And
Yeah.
they did the same with the buses. Apparently, they would obviously let all the passengers get out and then set the bus on fire, but dit het duidelik geescalate.
So apparently, so this is kind of heavy. Well, the Uber driver thing is also heavy, but this is like for the animal lovers. Apparently, there was like a SPCA truck.
Nee,
That was So
Gee whiz.
no, a lot of fucked up shit happened in the last week. And the fucking taxis here are scary, guys. Like so the moment I moved to Cape Town, I knew it's like these taxi drivers are not the same. Like the
they
people,
didn't play around.
Yeah.
the ones in Gauteng, but the ones here are like rough. Like they will drive like in the wrong lane with like all the conviction in their body and just fucking gooi.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna die. And then last
Yeah.
minute, I'm like,
Or like
Hello.
overtakes in the yellow lane.
Hulle
Or,
gee nie
Ja.
shit om nie.
stop on the highway. That's a common occurrence.
Ja,
That's
fucking stop dead.
stop dead on the highway. The taxis here are fucking menaces.
Maar
And-
kan ons net gou sê hoe fucked up is die N2 in general?
Ja.
Een keer toe ry ek en Armani op die N2, dit was soos 2021. Lekker, ons gaan nou Tafelberg klim. Woe. Hier kom 'n ou op 'n fiets van vooraf op die N2.
Ja.
Hy sê, nou is my kans. I'm gonna cross the fucking highway on my bicycle.
Yeah, but the Khayelitsha and the Khayelitsha crossing there next to the N2 is fucking wild. It's rough. And then there's bridges and stuff, but I kind of get it because
Yeah,
if you
it's
live on the
really
one
dangerous.
side, You have to go like a few kilometers up to kind of make
No,
it.
bridge.
you know what? The reason why they don't use the pedestrian bridges is because it's a fucking hazard. You can easily get trapped up there and get hijacked. So they'd rather take their chances.
You mean
cross-
mugged or what? Not
Not
hijacked, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like,
I mean, you never know.
me and my mini car.
Well, I mean, if you're going on a bicycle across, I suppose it is a hijack.
That is a hijack. Fair enough.
But yeah, we were busy with a project last year and they explained it to us and they said they rather take their chances to go by foot across the highway than use the bridges.
That's true. I must say, working with working in the restaurant for the last few months, I've met like a lot of people from different backgrounds and what. Checking my privilege, like fucking, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. But how I speak to a lot of these guys, and it's crazy just like getting mugged and stuff. Like we talk about getting mugged and stuff in the sense of, yeah, it's a third world country. You do get mugged sometimes, because maybe we walked somewhere and we got mugged, or we went out and we get mugged.
Yeah.
But for them, it's like just traveling home is such a common occurrence to lose your phone just because someone mugs you. I was like, fuck that, dude. Like,
Jeez.
And even if you are on a taxi or on a bus, a lady told me that they were all on a bus and they got pulled over and they got onto the bus and they just had guns and they told everyone, give over your phones.
No.
Just hand it over.
and it's just like,
And you can't do shit. Like, what are you going to do? So now she travels with a fake phone so that if that happens, she gives them that phone.
it's like a Barbie phone. It's like
Yeah, all those
Barbie.
like plastic ones that they have at the shop. So you've seen them. It's like a demo thing. It's got the same shape and size. But
Yeah,
obviously
but it's just
a
plastic.
piece of plastic.
Or,
That would be
or
a-
even just a cheap phone, like one of those old Nokias.
Yeah.
To be fair, where the fuck do you find the old Nokia at this point?
Ek dink jy kan dit letterlik by soos CNA koop. No jokes. By die
Oh,
till.
that's true. You can buy those. It's not old, but it's like the what do you call it? The knoppies, die nummers.
Yeah, where you still have
Yeah.
to press it 3 times to get it.
For,
letter.
3 times for C. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
The prospect of how easily the taxis deciding to do what they did, or the unions more specifically, crippled major components of economy and infrastructure was insane.
It's terrifying.
It's like a
It's
domino
wild.
effect. You can see it immediately. On that day with both of us, when we went to the airport, when he was there, the line was... Okay, ek gaan nooit Afrikaans praat, sorry.
Nee. Excuse man, jy verstaan nie.
Die ry het die hele lengte van die lughawe gestrek en weer omgegaan. Vir een
Just for fly
airline.
stuff.
That's fuck. Oh, just
Just
for
for
South
flies.
Africa.
Net vir een airline, die hele lengte van die lughawe.
Oh,
En
that's
dit is
fucking
net
wild.
as gevolg van die taxi strikes, want obviously is hulle understaffed.
It's
Maar
wild
dis
how much
regtig
power
scary.
the taxis have, and it's fucking scary.
But it was scary to see, like just here, but we even had the conversation about it being, if, for instance,
Don't
all of
give
the
ideas now.
taxi associations were like, yo, let's strike together, unified front.
It's fucked up.
The entire economy, like
The
you're talking,
country will just stand still.
yeah, it's insane. But
Because
anyway,
the thing is, like with restaurants, I feel that's like an obvious one where everyone's like, yeah, obviously there's no staff to be waiters or make food or whatever. And then like a week later, you go to your local Woolies and there's like fuck all.
Ja, ek het
There's
gesien
absolutely fuck all.
like
op
nothing.
Miriek se
Ja.
story.
Everywhere. It's like it's hard to buy groceries, and then you're like, yeah, this is what happened. You can't buy bread because there isn't people to deliver the bread. There isn't people to actually do the packaging or whatever. I don't know how bread is made, but you know what
Or
I'm
like,
saying.
yeah, because there's dudes in every step of the way that might have been held up by the fact that they couldn't get to work that day.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like the guy that brings all of the crates out to the stocking floor and puts the bread onto the thing. Like that guy's just not there. So there's one dude for the whole shop who's like, okay, I got to put everything
takes-
out now.
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like we can't function anymore.
Yeah.
We can't put out everything we need to put out.
But it also makes you
wild.
aware of how many hands are involved in just running this country. With simple things like just stocking the shelves every day. If there's one day that there are a few people missing, it affects everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've got so much love for the working class this last year.
Because you were part of it.
Oh yeah, I'm part of the working class, but also to see actually like a 9 to 5 is such a fucking cool thing. Like last year I worked a 9 to 5. It's such an easy thing. It was so fucking easy.
It's
We had
stability.
it so easy.
Dis die ding, dit is die stabiliteit daarvan. Daai hele ding van being self-employed is actually so romanticized. Dis nog steeds vir my 'n goal. Dis my ultimate goal, maar ek dink mense praat nie genoeg oor die fucked up shit wat involved is in om self-employed te wees nie.
So self-employed in what sense? Like your own business?
Ja, your own business completely, or you are soos as jy alleen verantwoordelik is vir jou inkomste deur jou output. So sê nou maar jy nog 'n freelance het. Dit is glad nie 'n stabiele
That's the thing, you're giving up stability for control, because the control is so fucking fun. Like Miriek is obviously self-employed now, and she can just pretty much do what she wants. She can go to Pretoria anytime she likes. She just needs to organize her schedule according to shoots and stuff. But still, like, that's one thing I definitely miss, where I'm like, I wanna be self-employed again.
Ja, don't get me wrong, soos ek gesê, dis nog steeds wat ek wil doen.
But the stress involved is
Ja, mens moet net acknowledge that it's not a fucking easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
But I mean, you set your own limits and your own schedule, like you're saying, in terms of your control. And that is the benefit that you notice, or at least in my experience, that you notice from a 9 to 5. Where you tell yourself, like, at the end of the day, I'm done. There's nothing more I need to do.
Yeah.
Okay, go home and now this time is mine.
But that's exactly what I want to highlight about being self-employed. Maybe that's just my personality. Maar as ek vir myself gewerk het, dink ek nie my werksdag sou gestop het 5 uur nie. I would easily just keep on pushing until I actually go to sleep.
Probably, but that's also personality type.
Yeah, that's your cock. That's your cock. But yeah, fair enough. I must say, Miriek is pretty good with that. She has a good 9 to 5 schedule going on. It helps that I'm also kind of forcing her. No, actually not, because a lot of my, like, for instance, I'm working tonight. It's a fucking Sunday. I'm working from 4 o'clock. And so most of my days I might be at home, and then she needs to work while I'm at home, which is great for me because I can play games and kind of just unwind and do my thing.
Yeah.
But then she can do her thing, and then by 4 o'clock when I leave, she might have a shoot, and when she gets home, she's done for the day. It's like, cool. So she's pretty good with that, especially because shoots involve sunsets, where it's like, cool.
Specific.
Take your photos at 6, and when you get home, don't fucking work, don't do anything, that's just when you're off.
Thing, yeah.
But I agree with the 9 to 5. I remember last year was so fun knowing, like, hey, have a good weekend, and that's it. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday is my day. I'm not going to worry about anything else.
Okay, op 'n minder ernstige noot.
Ja, ons het gou 'n costume change gedoen vir Luka.
Langs my.
Ons wou net wys dat hy ook 'n Kaapenaar is, en toe haal hy uit sy Patagonia.
Patagonia.
Say Patagonia. Say Patagonia.
Except this one is not from the Cape. It's from his auntie.
Yeah, my auntie from Canada.
Canada. So that's real Patagonia. That's real shit. Patagonia.
Patagonia.
Yeah, you gotta have feathers here, otherwise you're freezing. Especially if you're losing all of your heat from the top of your head like this. You don't have any insulation whatsoever.
You guys are decked out with the brands, eh?
Yeah.
I'm sporting homemade pants, okay?
Homemade?
I made these.
Sorry, did you tell me this already?
Jy was by my huis toe ek dit gemaak het. Oh, you fucking forgot.
Sorry, I was playing Mario Kart.
Oh ja.
Yes, I was angling so hard to steal the Switch.
Ja, hierdie week
Every moment I
have.
saw it, I was like, steal it.
Okay, Sophia's her sister. Would she realize that you're stealing the Switch? Would she actually notice?
she played it. Sy het dit soos die hele tyd gespeel toe sy dit gekry het, maar nou chill dit net daar langs die TV. So ek wonder.
Wil jy weet wat sy moet kry? Sy moet Baldur's Gate 3 kry. Sy
On
sal
Switch?
daai Nintendo Switch fucked up
Wat
speel.
is dit
Baldur's Gate 3.
But I mean, like, she has Zelda.
Yeah, but I think Zelda's
But
for
then,
actual gamers. No offense, Sophia, but I'm guessing if you play Mario Kart and Mario Party and like fucking Wii Sports, that doesn't
Here it
make
comes out. Here it comes out.
Thomas,
JP's
I
actually
can't-
tuning
sy kyk
your
nie.
preference from the last.
Letterlik,
you're
dit
like,
is my games. This is die
yeah,
shit wat ek love.
that's not game. Like that's the Call of Duty for guys and FIFA.
What
like
is the Call of Duty for
like
guys?
people like guys playing just Call of Duty and FIFA is like it's like the bro games. It's not
Dylan.
actual
yeah,
games.
still playing FIFA the whole time.
That's the thing. It's not actual like proper like in the gaming space video games. It's just like
I get you.
yeah, it's like the game that everyone plays because they have to type of vibe.
Is dit daai soos bietjie meer repetitive? Dit gaan nie
You
eintlik
mean
iewers
it's like 100% repetitive.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's also so ingrained in like guy culture at this point. Like something like FIFA in South Africa specifically, Call of Duty everywhere, Fortnite. It's like
Yeah.
you can ask anyone, like any guy, something about Fortnite, Call of Duty, or FIFA, they'll know what it is. If I go to a random guy and be like, Baldur's Gate 3 is the game of the year, and they'll be like,
wait,
what the fuck are you talking about, nerd? Get the fuck out of here,
To
nerd.
be fair, one thing I can say is when Sophia started playing Zelda's Breath of the Wild, what?
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Not
Zelda's
Zelda's Breath.
Yeah, Zelda's breath, that is wild.
When I played that or started playing with her, I did actually really enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah,
Like genuine.
genuine.
So now it's another reason why you need to steal it.
No.
Like you need to steal the Switch. It's just gonna make your life.
I want to convince Miriek to buy a Switch. Well, we'll buy it together.
But which
But I
one would
wanna-
you buy? The OLED one or
I'll get the normal one because we don't need the OLED. The OLED is just for like the handheld thing. And for that, it anyway doesn't look amazing, so I'm fine
What's
to
OLED?
compromise.
it's just a better
TV.
screen on one of the versions of the Switch
Oh.
than the normal one.
OLED is like the best like color or the best screen you can get, I think.
It's
mean,
just
who
very, very
cares?
bright.
It's so
More than anything
pretty.
else.
I want to get an OLED screen, but the one I want is I want to get an LG C1, which
the
is
C2
cheap-
now as
There's
well.
a C2, there's a C3 out
There we go.
already.
Yeah, now we're starting.
Okay.
But
I
it
need a
costs,
beer.
but it costs 22,000 rand for the 55 inch, which
Okay.
isn't even the biggest inch. You can get a 75 for like
biggest-
60,000.
I see.
No, that's a lot of inches if you ask me.
I think you can operate fine on 43. 43 inches works well. Oh,
Ek
right.
weet ons mag nie daaroor praat nou al nie.
Wat?
Maar ek gaan net vinnig sê Oppenheimer was.
Oh yeah. So for reference, we're gonna have a Barbenheimer episode.
It was so good.
But yeah, we'll talk about that. But Oppenheimer,
Do
good
it.
shit.
Just
good
do
shit.
it.
Well,
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Dis perfek. Hierdie kan soos 'n intro wees vir
Ja.
daai episode waar ons vir die mense sê gaan kyk dit voordat die episode uitkom.
that's var.
Sodat jy jou opinie
Yeah,
kan-
fair enough. So the next episode, madam, you guys have to watch Barbie this week then.
ja, ons
Before
sal,
the how the fuck are you going to go?
Yeah,
nee,
we'll
ons
see.
sal dit doen, sal dit doen. By Labia hierdie keer.
Bro, I have expenses that are coming.
Moet ek vir die mense sê hoeveel geld in jou bankrekening is, Luka?
For what purpose?
So that I can tell you can fucking
oud
afford it.
The lobby is how much? 70
So
rand?
70
70 rand
bucks.
is regtig niks compared to Sterk Unicorn.
Well, I get special, so I get 50 rand a ticket.
Kan
For
ons
Sterk
kan
Unicorn.
ons jou
No, I've already used it for Barbie.
maar Kan ons dit nie weer gebruik nie?
No, that's not how
Is it
they're
like a
calling it.
monthly thing?
No, it's a once-off per
movie.
movie thing.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
Discovery thing, so it's 50% off.
You have Discovery.
I do, I know. I'm just bad with loyalty programs in general.
Dude, when it...
See, it's about lazy. Like, I get that there's an appeal, but the drive is just not there internally.
It's just, you just have to do some admin. It's like 10 minutes.
See, but I don't like that.
I'm
very
gonna
much.
do it then.
But then you save 50% on IMAX, on 3D, on 2D.
On Premiere, or what? Prestige.
Yeah, Prestige cock. That's kind of lame, but you know, you can do that.
Yeah,
Do
but
it.
I'll take a peek. I'll see. I always say that, but then I never do it. But it is what it is.
Dis soos byvoorbeeld, ek weet nie of jy gesien het nie, maar as jy die Virgin, ja, weet jy wat mense, ek gaan nou julle almal guns doen. If you have the Virgin Active app, you can get a free drink if you go more than twice a week to the gym.
Oh, yeah. Miriek told me
You
about
don't-
that.
yeah,
You
you
get
don't
a
need to-
smoothie.
Or coffee, and their coffee is actually good. I thought it would be dog shit, but it was.
What's the place called?
Dit was nieuw, dan staan Kauai ook. Ek het nou al twee se koffie gedrink en dit was nie bad nie.
It was decent.
Ja,
Coming from someone who fuck about coffee.
don't even start.
No, are we going to start that?
No,
think
You
that's
know
an
what?
important
JP and I
conversation
don't
to
like
have.
the snobbishness around
No, but
stuff like
we
that.
won't have a snobbish conversation, but we will just have a.
I'm snobby about coffee. What do you mean? I'm snobby about coffee.
Jean-Pierre, jy
Co-
is nie.
When it comes to
Jy's
coffee,
rarig.
like what? Okay, I've got a standard to coffee, but
Your standard is low.
Do you sometimes crave having a Jacobs?
no. I will die before
So
I...
he is better than you in that regard.
No. I think it's been 2 years since I've drank any type
Instant
of
coffee.
instant coffee. 2 years.
So you
Wat
never
drink jy
crave
by jou
instant
huis?
coffee.
I don't. I go buy coffee like a good Christian boy.
So
No, what sort of coffee lover doesn't have coffee at home?
Because I live
coffee
in the
lover-
city. I will never not have coffee in my vicinity. Like there's literally a bootleggers. Okay, well, I'm going to be very non-specific here because people are going to find my address very easily. But
you can just cut that out anyway.
yeah, I'm going to cut that out. She said some wild racist shit right there.
Kan jy my ook uitbeat?
Yeah, this is another Courtney instance where people say shit they shouldn't say. No, I've got a bootleggers like next to my place and a cocktail. I've got 6 coffee shops in like a 300-meter radius.
But what a waste of money.
I mean, they do skin you alive with
Dude,
markup
come
on
on.
coffee. It is the thing.
So you tasted George the other day.
I tasted George the other
How
day.
Yeah, the
how did
coffee we
George
gave
taste?
you for the
Yes.
How
podcast.
did-
Tasted
taste?
great.
He tastes
Okay.
good. He's a fit boy. George's a fit boy. So you tasted George. So George is 25 Rand coffees, and
It was
they
good.
are at every, I think, okay. Or it's like a new franchise dude. The owner's name is George.
Yeah, it's like
if you would
within
believe
the
that.
supermarket.
Yeah.
Okay.
But their coffees are like $25 for like a
Normal
big
cappuccino. Okay.
So that's
That's really
decent.
good.
That's good. And
decent
it
price.
was $20 at a point. But then they realized
That's
that
just straight
they-
up cheap.
Yeah,
which
I
is
was
nice.
like, and when we tasted, we were like, no, but this is fine. There's like, it's. I
Yeah, it is
think
like
it
a-
isn't as good as bootlegger, for instance, but like it's like 16 Rand cheaper, so fuck it.
Ja, nee.
I'll fucking take it. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, maar hierdie is, ek weet jy tune my altyd oor die, sien, het ek amper geburp op jou
Jy burp,
podcast.
jy burp nou
Ek is
hierso,
jammer.
want jy drink bier en dames drink nie bier nie. Gaan aan.
My body is rejecting it. I know you always tune me about instant coffee. Obviously verkies ek soos filter koffie of jy weet regte bone.
Die bone, ja.
Maar ek drink koffie vir verskillende redes. Okay? Eerste koffie in die oggend wat deesdae swart is, believe it or not. Maar omdat dit swart is, kan dit nie instant koffie wees nie, want jy
Ja,
wil nie
that's
die
not happening.
instant
Ja.
koffie proe nie, okay?
Ja, you need good shit, ja.
So dan maak ek vir my 'n lekker plunger koffie, yummy. Dan later, gewoonlik soos na breakfast, dan is ek net lus vir die smaak van Jacobs.
Oh my gosh.
And then I put milk in it. En dan sit meer soos 'n dessert as wat dit is. Ek het nou energie nodig en ek lus vir koffie.
Yeah, I see Jacobs as like hot chocolate. So
Dit is
sometimes
low-key
you just
daai
have a
vibe.
craving for like
Ja.
synthetic kak.
Maar as
It's
ek,
like,
as ek
yes.
nou sit en dink,
Oh,
"Jessie,
bless.
ek het nou koffie nodig, ek so lus vir koffie." Dan kom Jacobs nie op nie, dan dink ek, wil either 'n koffie gaan koop of ek sal 'n behoorlike koffie maak.
But I mean, I wouldn't say that about like, because coffee for me as well is a very functional thing.
Yeah.
I personally don't operate as a human being until I've had a decent amount of caffeine.
How much coffee do you drink per day?
On average, I'd say about a liter. I've
That's
just
a weird fucking way to put it. How many cups is that?
4 koffies.
4.
yeah, I don't know. I have before
so bad,
before about 11 in the morning, I already have about 750 mils to a liter worth.
Okay, but no one
Black
thinks in milliliters. We all think in cups.
But that's what
That is
that's
a
what I'm
bit
showing.
wild.
But that's what I'm trying to show. Like it's almost a pragmatic thing. Like I'm trying to
No, do you know
express
what?
it as a function of like how much I need to consume
practical
to get
thing,
to a
yeah.
specific level. Like
Maar
I'm-
weet jy hoekom help daai milliliter storie van jou nie? Party mense drink sê nou maar 'n espresso. Maar ander mense drink 'n cappuccino. Ander mense drink filterkoffie, ander mense drink Nespresso.
That's true. How
And
do you
it's
drink
all
your
different.
coffee?
Like it's not going to be
I have both.
250.
I have both. So what I know on the day to day, what I have in volume
Stop
is-
saying
is filter coffee or
Okay.
plunged coffee. And then for my own enjoyment, generally it's espresso. But I'll have from a machine, an old machine that I have.
Ah,
Ja, het
okay.
ons al gesien.
Is it so unpopular opinion? I hate pods.
Ek is ook besig
I
om
do
oor
not
te
like
raak.
pod coffee.
Soos 'n
I,
espresso.
Yeah, I don't like.
Dit het so 'n bietjie van 'n burnt taste.
Ja.
Partykeer.
I just prefer. I'll actually drink like what do you call filter coffee, obviously, but as well as Ray coffee or whatever you call it, the cheaper coffee than pod coffee. I don't like pod coffee.
Ja, ek
There's something
verstaan.
about it.
I don't know. I think it's also sorely misunderstood.
Pod coffee.
Pod coffee.
Why?
Because the capsules are designed for specific volumes. Again, volumes are important when it comes to the way that you consume your coffee. But like the difference between like a lungo or a ristretto or an espresso, based on the way that the pods were filled, changes the way that the coffee tastes. So like you have people who are using espresso pods to make themselves like a big glass
ja,
of
'n vet koffie.
of what they would consider a lungo, and then it's like
Oh, I get what you're
just
saying.
this
Dan sit
burnt
afgewater.
off taste, or it's very flow. It's not, you know. like
Okay,
you're not getting the
actually,
flavor
to be
that you
honest,
want.
I've never considered it that way. Every time I made it for myself,
You
I
just press 'n knoppie.
I just kind of fill the fucking cup with it. And then if I think logically, because obviously I know working in a restaurant, I know how to make proper coffee now. That's fucking stupid. That's not how you make
I
Americano.
mean, yeah, it's not like a toothpaste thing that you just the more
Yeah,
you squeeze,
it's
the more
like-
toothpaste you get. Like it actually has. Anyway,
Ek sal
No,
ek-
I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Actually, I never thought. So what? You're telling me if you want to make like Americano with a pod, you have to do like an espresso sized like shot or whatever, and
Yeah.
then add hot water.
add your water to it. Yeah.
I've never
Yes,
done
but
that.
that would taste like shit.
That's Americano.
Ek weet ek love Americano, maar ek kan nie dit imagine met 'n espresso pot.
Honestly,
But it's because you've
this
never
makes
done it
more
before
sense
now.
now.
Okay, we'll do it now afterwards, okay?
But
I'll
then
try
again,
it.
like
It
it's
makes more
also,
sense.
I don't think it's Nespresso's fault specifically, but I mean it's the brand's fault in of itself when they make these pods.
That
and they're
all
not-
look the same.
Yeah, they all look identical. They're all the same size. The fold is different,
And they
obviously,
all
between them.
mean fuck all. Like, you can tell me, oh, this is abarabendo. And I'm like, great, what the fuck does this mean? It's a dark roast. Great, what the fuck does this mean? Like, they've got so many different, like, oh, some hazelnuts. Like, bitch, I can't taste a hazelnut. Why is there so many stupid options?
Just tell me what fucking button to press. Big
Yeah,
one or
yeah.
small one.
Just make one fucking coffee and say, this is coffee.
Yeah, it's all about that ease of entry. Like
Brand
you should-
idea.
100% just make it more accessible to people who enjoy coffee.
Yeah. But also,
but are not interested in the dynamics of how to get what they want. They're
don't want to get a fucking degree. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. I'll actually give pot coffee a try now. I never considered this, but it makes a lot of sense.
Ek dink kom ons eksperimenteer. Ons maak een Americano. Okay, but are these all espresso pods?
I have no idea. We have to see on the box.
You guys,
because it is actually
Let's
on the
read
box.
it for once.
The other reason I might be dead today is because I haven't had coffee yet.
Kan ek vir jou gou een maak?
Nah.
Is jy dood?
Well, actually, we'll do it in the break. In 12 minutes, we're taking a break.
See, but
anyway.
now that's the level to which I'm at. If I don't have coffee, it's tickets. Like I'm by 12 already, like headache and
just not
like I'm not
happy man.
Yeah, and I've tried it once because I obviously realized shit. I'm probably severely addicted. Like I'll be non-functional if I don't have coffee, which I'm pretty sure I am. And I decided, okay, I'm going to stop, see what it's like, but cold turkey, flat, like just no coffee. And by the third day, so a while, almost a month. But by the third day after not having coffee, it was
not
like it was worse than any flu that I'd experienced in recent memory. Like
really?
It absolutely annihilated me. I went home in the middle of the day. I was like, I can't do this. And I had to really do shit in the lab. Like I was there and working and I was just like, if I continue with this, it's going to be one major fuck up.
But is it coffee or caffeine?
Caffeine specifically.
Okay.
So I mean, I could replace it with something else.
Like a Red Bull or something.
Yeah.
Or just drink
a decaf.
No.
Is that your suggestion for me getting caffeine?
No. I'm saying if you miss the taste of coffee, then you could still do decaf. Maar bijvoorbeeld Luka het fokol nicotine withdrawals gehad. Soos 0.
Yeah.
Die koffie ding was van baie erger.
Yeah, but coffee is so much better than nicotine. But
you don't have it smells on both ends there, bro. Like let's I don't know. I don't know which one I'd consider better, but both of them go quite hand in hand.
En niks soos 'n smoffie nie.
Yeah.
The thing is, now I'm actually wondering, so a lot of people do prefer drinking their coffee with a smoke.
Yeah.
Like the classic smoffie, yeah. So I'm wondering, maybe it's got that
It's a complementary flavor for sure. I think
they both make you shit.
No, it is quite an effective bowel regulator.
It is really.
It does keep things moving.
Well, there we go. Meant to be this. Ons is terug. Okay,
I don't even think that's an opinion. That's just straight up fact.
That's...
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Story.
What do you call that?
Diuretic.
A laxative.
Laxative is the word.
But I wouldn't say it doesn't just make you...
Yeah, it doesn't just
doesn't open the demonic gates. Like it actually has a very specific
There's still
function.
some control involved.
Yeah. Anyway, pivoting.
Well, there we go.
Talking about technicalities. One thing.
So die punt was net, jy gaan gym 2 keer 'n week, dan kan jy 'n free koffie kry.
Oh, yeah,
Is that where this all started?
Yeah. Can you believe the ADD person is keeping track?
Well done. But going even further back, we want a Nintendo Switch. We are super keen for Nintendo Switch, but we don't want to buy one because fuck.
Ja, dit is so duur.
But to be fair,
$7,000.
I think on the topic of gaming and consoles and whatnot, so also now we're moving into a deeper can of worms. The future of that industry, I think, is handheld based. So something that is more portable and smaller scale and movable.
Yeah, dude, the Steam Deck is doing super well.
The Rogue Ally as well, which I very strongly considered getting recently.
You know what made me almost get it? And I was so surprised by this. Fucking Jack Sparrow.
What?
Jack Sparrow, because Jack Sparrow is a Moosha gamer. He's very into his gaming and whatever. He's quite open about it. He gets a lot of sponsored deals. He went to E3 in
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow went to E3 4 years ago.
E3?
E3 is like the big gaming convention that's not really a thing anymore. But before COVID, it was like the biggest gaming convention for just news in general, like gaming news and journalism.
It's like where the biggest game developers would come and show off what's in the pipeline. Like, what are we doing? What can people be excited for? And like, where's the industry going? It also sort of gave you the landscape.
Yeah. It was so cool because that's also where all the hype trailers came, and like there was so many cool shit that happened, and it's all live, so you can hear the crowd. There's also a lot of memes that came out, like Keanu Reeves came out one year. It's
For
you're all
Omdat hy in
what?
Cyberpunk
You're
was.
beautiful, yeah, for Cyberpunk. You're all beautiful, wada. And it became a massive meme. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's just fun convention where people come together, show their trailers, show their games, get some hype around it, and it's super fun. And Jack Sparrow went to it for some fucking reason one year. He went to LA, and
Wow.
I'm not sure if it was a sponsored thing. Maybe he
Maybe.
just paid it for himself. But it looks super cool. But yeah, you got a rogue ally from ASUS last week or 2 weeks ago
Nice.
for
And
free, and he was like, cool.
how's he finding it?
No, he just opened it up. It's like, yo, guys, hierdie is so fucking cool.
He's the first one to drop the P-bomb. Anyway.
We're talking about Jack Sparrow. I have to. But that was literally, he's like, yo, nee, hierdie is so pille, julle. So ek speel bietjie Uncharted 1 hier so lekker. No, but that's literally.
Goed, JP.
And then he shows he's playing like Uncharted 1. I'm like, wow, that's wild. I forgot Uncharted is even on PC. But yeah. And then he just shows off how well it runs. It's like, yeah, silky smooth. It's like, yeah, Jack Sparrow. But yeah, so he's playing it, looks good. The reviews for it is good. So for the people that don't know, it's literally a mini PC gaming setup in your hand.
Isn't
and
it
you can travel
basically,
with.
it's like the Switch, but it's made by Asus.
Yeah.
But like
Asus.
everybody would remember this, or maybe not. But I suppose
A Game Boy.
so. Yeah, like back in the
PSP.
day. Yeah, when I think it was like grade 3 or grade 4 for us, when your mates got PSPs and they're like, guys, check out this golf game. I can play golf on my PSP. I can play FIFA on my PSP. For people who don't know what a rogue ally is, or like
It's
all
that.
of these other things, that's what it's like. It's basically something you have in your hands, something small that you can do or play
But
any of the
better.
games that you want to on.
But the thing is, so what's wild about the PSP was there was a PSP and like a PS2, it was a PS3 that era. So it was PSP and PS3. But when you play a PS3, it's so much better. It was like, obviously, you could see that, for instance, Star Wars Force Unleashed, you had the PSP port that was basically a different game to the PS3 one.
Yeah.
The PS3 one looked better. It had different levels here and there. While the PSP one was kind of the watered down version.
Yeah.
And the Nintendo Switch is kind of, because it's a fucking, a shitty hardware. It is.
Yeah,
The
it's a bit dated at this point.
It's basically a fucking potato, just kind of running great video games because they're used to working with potatoes, so they make chips out of it, if I could put it that way. They know how to work the potato, so the potato still works, but it's still a fucking potato. Whatever. But yeah, point is,
That analogy
So
doesn't
again,
help me.
another analogy time to get this into perspective. It's like on YouTube. You're watching a 240p video.
yeah,
And you got to be happy with that because that's all you can do. So that's
Yeah.
like PSP, Switch, what you're describing now.
yeah.
And then full 1080p, 2K, 4K video, like
Yeah, good
super,
shit.
super crisp.
1080p.
108p. Yeah.
You said it last
Ek
week.
weet.
She said this last
Ek
week,
weet.
and I was disgusted.
Ek was 'n bietjie embarrassed. Maar
But
toe
anyway,
laat ek-
so like super, super crisp. That's like mainline consoles.
Yeah,
PS,
exactly.
PS4, PS5.
So
that
are
sort
you
of thing.
saying that a Nintendo Switch is 240p?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
But-
doesn't have the same quality, but
That's so
it's
nice
still,
though.
yeah,
Because
the
they-
caveat is that you can take it wherever you want, basically. As
The
well.
thing is about Nintendo Switch, it's outdated, but because Nintendo is so good at developing games, they take this outdated piece of shit and just kind
Make it
of
run
makes
things.
it so fucking worth it. But it's also frustrating for a lot of people because everyone's like, imagine a Pokemon, but on a PS5. It's just like it'd be fucking insane. But yeah, that's Nintendo. But point is, so the idea of the Steam Deck and the Rogue Ally is it's a portable PC where you can play HD.
Where it looks really, really good.
Where it looks good and it runs good. And you can play fucking new games like Baldur's Gate 3. We'll talk about Baldur's. I want to talk about Baldur's Gate 3 because I'm in love.
Sorry, Miriek.
Yeah, sorry. No, but she knows. She's been leaving me alone when I get home recently because she knows I'm playing more games.
You girlfriends must understand
Excuse
with us gamer
You
boys.
girlfriend.
Like
You woman.
when we get home and there's something cool out, Hattie Bop.
But
Shame.
And like
I also have a life, don't worry.
sure.
Smoothie gonna transition to coffee. Hoe is it?
Oh yeah, you guys made me.
Maar wees eerlijk. Not you guys, Lisa.
So how much milk is in here now? Is this like Americano essentially?
110 milliliters.
Oh wow. Okay.
Nee, daar is nie Americano nie.
It's more on the cappuccino side of things.
Is a lot of milk in here?
Maybe more
Ja, ek
flat
sal sê
white.
dis soos halfpad melk, halfpad koffie.
Okay. I think it's it's definitely better than like a on-mark coffee key. It's better than
instant.
yeah, it's better than instant coffee. It's the same level as filter coffee though.
Okay.
I wouldn't
van
say,
filter coffee.
which I'm fine with. That's what I drink when I'm with my parents and stuff. But like, it's still not as good as a proper cappuccino.
To be fair,
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
al hoekom ek hierdie pods het is want my ouers het 'n ander Nespresso masjien gekry en toe gee hulle al daai
Oh, toe
pods.
claim, yeah.
So it's basically you that drinks it. I don't really.
Yeah,
Drink it.
but I mean, I don't have many options here.
Is letterlik plunger koffie.
Yeah, I had the plunger this morning. It was great.
No, you
Success.
didn't. You had
Loved it.
Nespresso this morning.
Yeah, but
You know what?
It's also
I'll
just a
take
volume
this.
question.
I'll just choose this above filter because it's more convenient.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
press the
it's
so
button
easy.
and then bombs your uncle.
It's more and satisfying too.
Bums your uncle.
Bombs your uncle.
What did I want to say? I'm trying to consider this. So I eventually, if I have enough money where I'm like, cool, I've got a lot of disposable income, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna buy me a cappuccino machine. Or like a proper
Yeah.
espresso machine.
100%, we're on the same page.
Letterlik.
The priorities of investments in self and the house, if you have a place
Yeah.
that you really enjoy staying at, is first of all a dishwasher.
Ja, dishwasher.
Because
Yeah,
washing
true.
dishes is a fucking loss.
It
End
is
of
a
story.
loss.
There's no two questions
Nee,
about
dit
it.
nie. Dit was die hoofbron van ons konflik toe ons saamgebly het.
They're
Yeah.
fighting
Tot ons
over who's washing dishes. It's a thing.
Yep. So classic.
And if it is in the Cape as well, just another caveat, tumble dryer. Because it's impossible in the midst of winter when it's raining basically every single day to do proper laundry.
Especially-
like it's always semi-damp.
So at least you have a stoop in Stellies, because we don't have a stoop. Lisa, you guys don't have a stoop. To dry something out in a room is fucking cock. It's
Yeah.
so nice to just leave it outside, but even then it still
But I
takes
mean, it's-
fucking forever in the winter.
If it's raining outside,
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
gonna be inside. I'm gonna throw it over my couch and my
That's
everything
true, yeah.
inside. So
Ja.
that, and then third on that list, 100% is a high value coffee machine, like something that'll get me the coffee that I want.
So I found that machine, but the cost is kind of ridiculous.
We'll
Maar,
throw it
okay.
out there. Let's
It's
get a
the cost
ballpark.
of a PS5. Let me put it that way.
Okay, but yeah,
12,000 rand.
but think about it
for a
but think
coffee
about
machine.
Dit kan meer wees.
Think about it as
Really?
well in terms of the markup that you pay on every single cup of coffee that you buy. Because you specifically now mentioned how you live by coffee places and the way that you get your coffee is by buying it.
True.
How quickly you'll offset the amount that you paid on that coffee machine with the money that you save on every single coffee that you drink.
Yep.
But the thing is,
But-
I'll probably still buy a bootlegger coffee when I'm out and stuff. That's the fuck up. Because I'm not at home. But I'm getting free coffee at work now, at least. But yeah.
I was just about to say this as well. The flip side of that is, with the convenience of a machine like that next to you, the likelihood of you drinking more coffee also increases. So you're probably going to be drinking more coffee as
Yeah, that's true.
And then it costs you even more money.
I think that's my situation at the moment, because I've always had the convenience of a coffee machine in my place that I can make coffee with.
And now you're fucking hoary.
Now I'm just like perpetually drinking coffee. There's no...
Well, you said you're drinking like 4 a day, which is really not that bad.
mugs, like fat mugs of coffee.
Big boy, so not this.
No,
not
nothing
this tiny
like
little
this.
girl. Okay.
So like my day-to-day, obviously going into the lab, what I normally take with obviously is my lunch and a standard water bottle, but a steel type water bottle, insulated, filled with coffee. Prior to filling that up, I already have a mug of coffee that I have at home before I leave. And so most of the day when I'm at work, I'm sipping coffee.
But is the caffeine amount... So how do you make coffee? Like, let's say you're making filter
So I have a
coffee.
big plunger.
Okay, so you know you're going to make a cuck ton of coffee
Yes.
for the big container. So do you throw in a lot of filter
Grounds,
coffy?
lots of grounds.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's the
my
thing.
coffee is also extremely strong.
Okay, no. Okay, that's a lot of caffeine then. that's
The other thing that I'm worried about is my teeth more than anything else. Because of the amount of... It's super acidic. Coffee is really shit for your teeth in general. And like, I don't have any interim. The only thing that my teeth are ever really in contact with for the greater part of the day, in the morning at least, is the strong ass coffee. And I'm like,
Is it really that cuck for you?
it's bad. It's really bad.
Lisa says no.
Okay.
No, but
What
this
does
makes
Dentist
sense. to me.
Daddy say then?
This
Let's
makes
go.
I've made...
It's not bad for your teeth. It can just stain your teeth if you drink too much of it, especially if
Okay.
that's all that you
But
ingest.
permanently?
No, like you can obviously jou tande blyk.
Yeah, but isn't it the same thing with Coke?
Ja,
Isn't
en
the Coke
tee,
thing?
selfs as jy iemand is wat swart tee drink. No, I'm probably talking through my asshole, but
Through your asshole. Your
Sorry,
actual
okay.
Jy kon
asshole.
net sê
ek
ass.
sal dit oordoen.
There was no...
I'm probably talking through my butt.
Okay. Dankeschön.
Maar ja, praat verder van jou anus. Maak klaar.
Oh, bless. Okay.
Bless. We're back to talking about...
Yeah,
Balls.
I don't know if it's good for my teeth.
But if you
bottom
take
line.
my dad, for example, he drinks coffee pretty much every hour.
Sure, but he
Yeah.
probably has like, as a dentist, surely he's like, okay, the smart thing to do now is to just palate cleanse with a bit of water. Just drink a water or something. I don't do that. Like, I just let it sit and...
just kind of rinse
Because
your
I
mouth.
like that. I rinse my mouth with coffee. But to jump back onto the rogue ally, just
Yeah.
as a secondary caveat, which I thought was very, very cool, is it's a full-on PC. Like, people forget the fact that it has Windows,
Sê net wat is PC want nie almal weet dit nie.
a personal computer,
Dit is 'n
I feel
gewone
like a
I
desktop
feel
or a
like
laptop
PC.
or whatever.
They're gonna think it means politically correct.
Oh shit, yeah, that's true. There is that PC as well.
No, but on a serious note, I've mentioned it since I learned that term. I've used it a few times and then people are like, PC?
So, laptop, computer, like it is a
Enige
full-on
rekenaar.
computer, yeah. You can plug a TV into it, a
Squat
monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, all of the paraphernalia that you'd normally expect to have with a computer.
Yeah, now you're
And
going
use it.
paraphernalia. over.
Yeah, what does that mean?
And use it as a computer, full-on computer.
That's fucking wild. So, but do you think you can actually put on Office and stuff like that. You can
100%.
do your admin on it.
Absolutely. So
How
to
much
put
is
into
it?
perspective, right, the CPU, which is the central processing unit of the Rogue Ally, is identical to the CPU that's in my laptop. A laptop that I use on the day-to-day to do all of my work on.
And you've got a stoker laptop.
But point in fact, exactly.
Yeah.
And
How much is this thing?
it's 15, 16.
That's
Meer as my laptop.
the thing is, yeah, 16 is a lot. So my issue is I can either buy a Rogue Ally for just gaming for 16,000, or I can like buy a M1 MacBook for 18,000. I won't be able to game on it because fuck you, Mac. But that's the only thing that's kind of stopping me from getting. It's like, fuck, I already have a actual PC where I can play games. I've got a PS5. I just want PlayStation to bring out a 7,000 Rand PSP or whatever. Or, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. But what I can say, and this is something that I've changed opinion on a lot lately, for functionality's sake, a Mac works extremely well. It's plug and play. Like everything is just...
You don't have to fuck around with it. You just do it.
Yeah, and the propensity for someone to break it, make it not work, is borderline zero.
Yeah.
Whereas with a Windows computer, there are so many ways in which somebody who doesn't know how to interact with it can break it and wouldn't even realize.
Yeah. Like drivers.
Yeah.
Like a Windows and the drivers. There's so many times where I just don't have internet because my Wi-Fi wireless internet driver just cucked. And if you don't know something like that, where you're like, cool, I have to update the driver, then you'll be fucked. Because why would you think I have to update this random thing installed in my...
What is a driver?
And then you got to go to your local
good
computer mania or incredible connection and speak to someone who's most likely also really crap at using computers.
Yeah.
The irony of it, like most of them are actually just basically skilled at interacting with tech in that way.
Yeah,
and also can't fix your problem. So you then like...
Last time I went to Computer Mania was exactly that, the issue with that they couldn't sort out. And yeah, that was a whole fucking schlep in itself. But while I was sorting out my broken laptop, the one guy started like trying to buy the laptop. He was like, this is a nice device. I'm like, thank you. It's like, how
much you want?
How much did you buy it for? I'm like, this. It's like, how much would you? And he's trying to buy. I'm like, dude, as you can see, it's not working right now. But I'll wait.
But on that, in that way, essentially what I'm saying is it's just a smart choice for someone who isn't interested in learning all of those intricacies to just buy a Mac and use it as it is.
Well, that's why so many people have Mac. It's just...
Especially designers and creative people really like MacBook.
Yeah, Miriek loves it. The thing is, people are also stubborn. Because
It's fucking stubborn.
It's the same thing with Samsung and all the iOS versus Android. Like, Miriek is exactly the same. It's like she will not touch a Samsung because she says it's too complicated. Or it's like, or that iOS is so much easier than Apple. But then I explained to her, no, it's good, and you're able to customize it, but also you don't have to, and it's still simple. But it's like, no, iPhone is easier. And a lot of people say that, where it's just like, no, they understand iPhone.
Yeah,
it's
and they
easy,
like the
it makes
interface.
sense. Like the interface is simple, and then so it's just the same with Mac versus Windows. It's like, Windows is what we used when we were kids, but now it's too complicated, and what, and so much going on, and why does Internet Explorer pop up every fucking day? And it's like,
But
I don't know why.
I
don't
honestly
know why.
fuck Edge.
I try to
change your
delete it,
fucking
but I
mind.
can't. Fuck.
Maar ek dink dit is nie net dit nie, JP. Dit ongelukkig het ook baie te doen met die marketing van Apple. Wat so
Yeah,
goed
that's true.
is. Mense love die image, and don't get me wrong, dit is flippin' nice. Like, I love how slick Apple is. I've always said that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're paying so much for specs that are like you can't even compare it to the equivalent price of a
like a normal laptop
Yeah.
which is also fair. Like it's another whole argument in of itself. Like the amount of times, for instance, recently now, even with mates of mine who are even tech savvy, but just use it because it's easier for them in an environment where so many people around them are using Mac to use a Mac. And it's something ridiculous like the total storage space on their laptop is 128 gigs.
That's fuck all.
that is
And you're like,
fuck all.
That's just your software and then done.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing else.
you can't, in today's day and age, you can't do anything with 128 gigabytes. Like the stock standard starting laptop sizes is like at the bare minimum 256 gigabytes. Like at a pretty medium 512, and like a pretty acceptable level nowadays is a terabyte.
Yeah.
And people operate on like 512, but even at that start struggling with the use cases.
Yeah. I've got
Imagine having 128 gigabytes to do what you need to do.
I
on a
won't be
laptop.
able to do anything that I want to do. So, like DaVinci and like most editing programs or everything I'll use for it, I won't be able to use
Yeah.
with 128. What do you use with 128 for? Office.
Yeah,
I mean,
then
like
it's just for your
cell phones nowadays have.
more than that.
Yeah,
My phone has 128. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's
JP,
fucking wild.
gebruik jy DaVinci?
Yeah.
Ek het nie dit geweet nie. Ek dink jy
Resolve.
gebruik Final Cut.
No, fuck no. No, Final Cut. Isn't Final Cut Mac?
Yeah.
I think it's Mac
Oh nee, maar wat
exclusive.
se ander een?
Premiere Pro.
Yes, jy het altyd Premiere Pro.
Yeah, Adobe. We used to use Adobe for everything, and then I I had to pay for my own Adobe, and then I
Whoa.
realized it's not worth it.
Dit is so.
Now I've got DaVinci that's free.
Luka het my van dit vertel vir video editing.
Fucking wild. So I had a full version with my previous job. I got a full version from them, and then obviously I'm not working there anymore, so I don't have access to the full version. But it's fucking amazing what the full version can do. And now I'm using the free version, and for stuff like the podcast or editing weddings and stuff like that, don't even realize I'm using the cheaper version.
Wow.
Only if I want to do fancy things, it says, sorry, this is the full version. Then I'm like, honestly, I can work around it and do the same thing. Just takes an extra hour or whatever.
Yeah, so, I mean, now, just for the sake of playing around and trying to see what was going on over the July sort of break I took for myself, decided to play around with some video editing software. With my brother as well, who has also played around with it in the past, and he's quite used to, or more used to, using Adobe Premiere Pro. We're just messing around with it, and started on the Adobe, the latest Adobe Premiere Pro. I wouldn't say that it was legally acquired, but
Yeah.
we were just playing around on it anyway. And
Crack.
it didn't feel, I don't know, I could figure out more or less in a pretty short span of time, like
It's not complicated,
how to do what I would need to do. For instance, to do something like this, like if you were to record a podcast, to do some audio syncing and cutting and basically putting a video together and maybe some basic color grading or something.
Yeah.
But then, while I was doing some research, ran into DaVinci Resolve, or had been mentioned a few times. I was like, let me just Google it. And then I saw as well, should you get the free one, but what's the difference? Let's see what's happening. And then basically most of the content creators and then websites as well were saying, like, there's really, for most users, at least on a consumer level, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
So just do it and see. And I was like, yeah, stuff it, I'll give it a go. And I swear, within the first like 10 minutes already, I was like, this is so much more intuitive. Like everything about it, the way in which it works as well, that it works in stages, essentially, where you're like putting all of your raw footage and clips and audio in, and that was the other thing that was really, really cool for me, is to see how it auto syncs a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So the thing that DaVinci resolved that Adobe Premiere Pro is, well, Adobe in general can't do. So Adobe is cool. You have an editing software. This is one app. Then we have our Audition, which is the sound audio app, the DAW type of thing. That's cuck, but people use it, so fuck you guys. Don't use it, it's terrible.
Okay.
Audition, and then you have Media Encoder to export everything in. There's like so many different apps for one workflow essentially. If you're, let's say, a content creator, you want to cut your footage, do some audio fancy shit, export. There's 3 different apps you use for that. You can technically do it in Premiere Pro, but it's uncomfortable and gross, and it's not made for that, and you can feel it. It's like they want you to use other apps because that's why they have it.
Yeah.
With DaVinci, is it like there's literally tabs of like, cool, this is, you can literally just follow steps.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, here is where you organize your project, bam. Now you edit it, bam. Now you do some effects. Don't want to do effects, cool, go to audio. Go to your audio. Or first it's the color. You can do color grading, audio, export.
Export as everything well in the app, which is amazing as well.
Everything on one thing.
My experience is very limited. I mean, I'm in no way, shape or form experienced at video editing or anything like that whatsoever. And my experience was the same as yours. And I can say that yours is obviously that of somebody who's extremely experienced with that sort of thing.
Yeah, I used Premiere Pro for fucking 4 years. And then my previous job kind of forced me to work on other stuff. And it was like instantly like, how is this a thing? It's like, why is this so easy? It's like, it's like playing on a different difficulty. It's like playing hard mode most of your studies, and then suddenly someone's like,
now easy mode. Check this out.
Now you have an automatic car. Enjoy. It's like, yes. Fucking traffic is lekker now.
Net so.
Yeah, it would actually be really nice to experiment a bit with video editing.
Yeah.
I was at the troue in Pretoria hierdie week.
Nice.
My sussie het getrou. Well, jy was ook daar.
I was there, ja.
En ek het soos, ek weet nie of jy al soos die nuwe editing styles gesien het wat deesdae op YouTube is nie. Dit hang obviously af wat se YouTube jy kyk, maar ek love daai oudtydse look, tipiese oudtydse filmkamera wat inzoom. Die kwaliteit is so shit, but it feels very novel, bit nostalgic.
Yeah, nostalgic retro vibe.
Ja. En baie van die YouTubers wat ek kyk, het dit begin doen, maar very much kind of B-roll kind of footage.
Yeah.
It's not, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's kind of just to give you some idea of the atmosphere of the place. And then I tested it out at the wedding met my phone, letterlik. En toe zoom ek so in op my sussie en haar man. En dit was so oulik toe. Sit ek 'n liedjie by dit, maak dit black and white.
Oh, op your story. Ek gesien, it's like, oh, you little hipster.
Toe love ek het. Dis ek sê hierdie is so lekker. And that actually really made me want to experiment with it more, because we've been speaking about it for a while.
Yeah.
Ons altyd lus om iets kreatief te doen.
You know what? The biggest issue with stuff like this is like starting a podcast. Is actually doing it, like actually pressing the button, recording, doing the action, and then after that, you're like, okay, I'm gonna put it up for the world to see now. That's where it's difficult. Otherwise, it's practically not that difficult. Ons praat net kakkie. There's some technical know-how, but fuck, Luka, you can figure pretty much anything out. Like
I can try.
The thing is, you've got YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone can do anything because of YouTube.
Yeah.
Maar JP,
Technical
dit
at least.
is deesdae, ek voel dis die waarheid vir meeste goed.
Yeah.
Everyone can do everything. Informasie is at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Maar die verskil is who goes the extra mile and actually does it.
That's the thing.
Dis
That's
so
where it
maklik om
gets
te sê,
hard.
yeah, I could fucking do that, but fucking do it then. Why you're not doing it?
There's a funny meme of 3 guys podcasting thing that everyone's been sending me, where it's like 3 guys just sitting there. It's like, we're finally, the caption's finally starting that podcast we mentioned. And they're all 3 sitting there like, and then the one guy's like, and everyone's like, and it's like, and everyone's like,
But I mean, like, to be fair, I think that's a legitimate worry that I think, because I mean, even us in the point of discussing, like, maybe trying to do something creative in this sphere, you have no idea, like, what is going to be involved.
yeah.
You can continue preparing yourself for the eventuality of it happening, thinking of all of the scenarios that might result as part of the process or whatever, but you'll never know until you do it.
Die ding is dat it's a classic case of analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Which is why I've also told you, like, I don't think it's necessary to kill yourself doing research and trying to find the perfect mic.
Yeah, or anything regarding tech as well is like that.
Yeah.
But that is that is a thing that at least I feel like I'm cognizant of in general, because I can be someone who overthinks scenarios and tries to find like the perfect solution to a problem I don't even have yet. You know,
I'm exactly the same boat. When I wanted to do this podcast, this was before anyone else was involved, where I was kind of just like thinking of the idea. One thing that kind of held me back was the ideal setup, if I can put it that way. So my ideal setup is, I was like, cool, we're going to need 3 cameras at least, which is still the plan. I do want a 3 camera setup where it's like a close up on me now, a close up on you guys, and then that shot we have now, that's just a wide.
Yeah.
And then I kind of messed around with that idea, but it's like, cool, now we have to get 2 more cameras, and how much is that going to cost? And then cool, I have to reset every 30 minutes. So cool, let's look at options that can help with that. I found
like synchronizing it or whatever.
So not even that, it's just, so it's the time limits issue. Like syncing everything is fine. It's the time limit where, cool, every 30 minutes we need to reset. We just reset, but they probably didn't realize. But but that was always a problem for me. So I was cool, I need a camera that doesn't have a limit, and then that's more specifics. And cool, if that doesn't work, maybe I can get this recording device that's 15,000 Rand, where you record everything. But I kept getting like these ideas. I'm cool, this involves me having a ton of money that I don't have. And so eventually I was like, you know what, just fuck it, let's just do it. And then when like people like Anrich and Daniel were like, let's fucking do it, that already gave me enough push to be like, okay, cool, I've got other people, we're doing it together. This is
it keeps you accountable as well.
Yeah,
it's like the age-old gym thing. You need your bro to be like, yo, listen, we need to go. Like, no.
That's exactly. So after that, I'm like, cool, great. Now it's less daunting, and I give a bit less about the fucking tech kak.
En weet jy, daar was 'n tyd wat ek kan nie glo ek sê dit op die podcast nie, maar daar was 'n tyd wat ek pretty serious was oor die feit dat ek 'n YouTube channel wou begin.
Fuck yeah.
Maar dit was genuinely vir 'n creative outlet, omdat ek al baie lank into the whole video editing ding en wou kom, en genuinely my plan was om fucking niemand daarvan te sê nie. Ek wou net shit upload wat vir my 'n creative outlet is. Anyways, en toe het ek nog eens baie navorsing gedoen, typies analysis paralysis. En daar was een ding wat iemand gesê het wat regtig vir my uitgestaan het, en hulle het gesê daar's 3 components: content, quality of personality. En toe sê hulle jy het gewoonlik 2 van daai goed nodig om 'n suksesvol YouTube, kom ons sê net 'n video op sy eie, 'n suksesvolle video te hê. So as jy die persoonlikheid het wat ek voel jy het, dus jou persoonlikheid is deel van wat dit sal, en jy het die content, dit waar jy praat, dan is jy al klaar good to go. Maar party mense sit al hulle energie in die quality in, soos wat jy nou gesê het, om 3 kameras te hê, sodat jy al die verskillende shots kan hê, en excellent audio, en dan staan dit uit, of sê nou maar jou beste skill is hoe jy video's edit. Party mense is insane met video editing, soos nie net die goed van om goed by mekaar te sit en audio reg te doen en wat ook al nie, dis soos ek weet nie wat noem is dit nie, maar post-production, soos hoe hulle dit nog meer van 'n piece of art kan maak deur die editing.
But I think just to like blurt in here, specifically with regards to JP's situation, which I can understand, is it comes from a position of trusting yourself. And JP trusts himself the most in what he can do with the production component.
Yeah.
And the thing that is the most out of his control is content.
Yeah.
So as a component of trust, the thing that he immediately falls back on is, what can I do to make the production on another level? Because I know how to do that, but I don't necessarily know how to control the content that's behind the whole production. So
that's
you don't think about that in the process, but
I've got a lot of ideal scenarios, but also there was a point where I realized, like, cool, this is very much a passion project, and I'm not going to make money from this. And
exactly, but that's the best place to be. I think that's the right way to.
Yeah, but the part of it is still, it's like I still like the idea that it can grow and be bigger and do cooler things. We do have other cooler things planned and stuff. So at the beginning with this podcast, so we talked about the first episode last time. The first episode was an episode of Daniel and Miller, which was like the practice thing I did for a project.
Yeah.
So when we did that, my plan was to be a producer, because that's actually where my passion is. I'm not really like that comfortable in front of a camera. I enjoy producing. So I like organize, like for instance, the animation and stuff.
Yeah.
The intro animation we did. I like getting an animator, getting the music and the rights for the music, organizing people I know and stuff, and then going from there.
That's another question I wanted to ask you just a second ago. But then,
Well, that actually leads to what the plans for the future. But yeah. Oh, so my plan was to just produce this podcast and not do anything else. I'll edit, direct, and whatever, and gather the people and record it. I wouldn't have been on it. But then I decided I'll just be on it, because I'll never have 3 random people in one spot every time. So I'm like, fuck, let me be in it. And now I'm enjoying the actual being part of it thing, where it's like, it's
JP
fun talking kak.
Nee, maar jy is ook regtig goed.
yeah.
Yes,
Ek is
want ek kan kak
impressed met jou.
praat. Dankie.
But it's a double driver though. Like, to sort of pivot here at the same time. Production is obviously, like you say, your passion. But it's difficult to center the direction of a project only as an external personality.
Yeah.
All right. But if you form part of the process, which is what you are now, as somebody who's in the podcast itself, you get to drive that too.
Yeah.
Which gives you a certain autonomy and control,
And that's why I like producing, is because I have a lot of control. But that's also where I realize, if I'm not able to produce the content myself, that's a lot of control I'm giving away.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, if I know this conversation is going to spots where we can't really use it, then at least I can kind of nip it in the bud now and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I must say, I did learn to enjoy this little chats now. But I think with the podcast is easy because we're just talking cuck.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you, my local neighborhood music snob, Carla, identified
Shout
the
out
song
Kyle.
in your intro.
Yndian Mynah.
Oh,
Mynah,
really? Yeah.
And he was like, that's cool.
He loves Yndian Mynah.
That's the only
Really?
thing he could understand of the podcast, though,
he's
because
English
Afrikaans
as
went
fuck.
straight over the top of his head. But
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad he
So
noticed.
now how did you
yeah.
get did you get in touch with them? or-
Friends of the band.
He literally took photos of them, like they asked JP to.
That's two.
Wait,
Yeah,
is that
Fr-
right?
friends and family friends. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sick.
I started working with them in like my second year stuff, just recording stuff for them and doing live shows and stuff. So we kind of have a relationship where I kind of use their music for whatever project I like, and then I shoot a bunch of shit for them and doing stuff. So we're actually doing a super. We should. I can. When's this now? Yeah, I can advertise this a bit. They're doing a show in the aquarium.
No way. That's
Kyle
That's
would lose
so
it.
fucking cool. So tell Carl actually, but it's on the 30th of August. There's a show in the aquarium.
okay.
It's a night show in the aquarium. So it's night
Oh,
and
my
then
goodness.
and it's like a whole series by I'm not sure who's organizing it, but it might be Tex in the City might be organizing. Check on Instagram, Tex in the City. It's a blogger, a music blogger on Instagram. She's super cool, and she and a bunch of people are organizing events, and this is like an aquarium series event.
I can
where
only
it's like-
imagine how cool the photos will be of
Yeah.
that. With
Yeah,
all
it's
the
cool.
like neon, like the wat se die jellyfish.
So it's in the big room with like the turtle in the background and the nutcracker, which is the dopest fish
Nice.
that ever lived.
Dis flipping
Is
cool.
that the dopest fish?
Yeah, the dopest fish, the nutcracker. He's like this big ass fish, and he looks like a dude. He's got like a jaw, and it's so fucking cool.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how we organize the music. It's just people I worked with, and kind of we spoke about that, and then mutual interest kind of helped them with a few projects that helped me, and Oh wait, we have to end this episode here.
Lekker.
Cheers.
Maar ja, dankie. Dit was daai episode van Mense met Opinie. Dankie Luka en welkom in die
I
Engelse
think
Yeah.
more than anything else, both of us can thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
It's like
Because
that.
jy's so ordentlik.
Because it's just, I
Hy
don't
het
know.
hy het nog nie die P-bom gesê nie.
Ja,
Sê dit net
of
vir die
Afrikaans
gees.
gepraat of in jou
He's
ma
the
se
only one who
aksent nie.
actually used the P-bomb.
Gaan
Ja,
jy
maar
self
ek was vir Jack Barrow.
That has to be in like the beginning segment. The very first clip you show is JP saying that.
Ja, okay, cool. I'll
Because I
do
think right after it, I was like, he used it first.
This is wild. The Englishman didn't use the P-bomb. The P-bomb. The P-bomb.
I think I need to save it for next time.
Oh wait, save it.
What makes you think you're coming in?
Save it next time.
Dankie
Well,
JP.
that was that vir daai episode. Los jou opinies in die comments. Dit moet Engels wees want hierdie was 'n Engelse episode. Los jou Engelse opinies in die comments. Wat nog? Like and subscribe, all daai classic lekker
For the
goedjies
algorithms.
for the algorithm, and also
Follow.
check out our podcast apps, Apple and Spotify and all that.
Nice.
Oh wait, dankie
Okay,
julle.
dankie.
Okay, tot ziens.
Bye.